Hey there, everyone. Today, I'm gonna be exploring the top mistakes in the Trick or Treat event, and I'm gonna be showcasing how you can avoid these mistakes from the easiest to the worst possible ways that these mistakes could potentially happen. And we'll make sure that you do not fall for these mistakes ever again, because it can make the difference between you winning in this event or even just failing at this event. So without further ado, let's stop wasting time and let's head straight into the first mistake that people can do. As you can see here, mistake number one is whenever you find a Spirivi, never, and I mean never, click spare on it. So, what many people do is, oh hey, I just found a Gleam or Gamma Spirivi in the wild. Let me try and catch this thing. Alright, so, the second they try and do that, guess what they do? They click spare. Why do they click spare? Because you want to try and catch it in an easier way. So, there you go, spare. Alright, so now I've spared Spirivi. It doesn't have enough energy, so it's gonna flail and exhaustion, and there it goes. So here's the issue. Now, imagine that happens to you and you end up killing a Gamma or Alpha Spirivi in the wild. That will feel real bad, right? Especially, let's say you find a Rainbow Wisp one. That will hurt a lot. So how do you avoid this thing? Instead of actually sparing it, what you want to try and do is either focus on throwing as many discs as you possibly can first, or what would be even better is bring a Loomian that can learn the move Hypnotize, which will put the target to sleep. Now, if you do that, you're going to get more chances at throwing a disc. Plus, if the Spirivi starts to get way too low, for example, you might want to use a Hyper Disc to increase the odds of you catching it. Or if you really badly want it and it seems like it's about to die, you might want to use an Ace Disc to get it inside the disc, and that way you won't lose your precious Spirivis anymore. So yeah, other than that, let's get straight into the next mistake. Alright guys, next up is Cake Point. Now, the next mistake that people do is actually not focus on their cake point, and here's something that you can do for this. So when you're in the Sweet Retreat area of Trick or Treat, you have this cake mini game. As you can see here, these people are doing some cake. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and get a group of people ready before you do this. So the more people you have with you, the better the amount of cake points you will get. So what you want to try and do is you want to try and get a group of people ready ahead of time. For example, you could start a Discord server and get a bunch of people like I did, and then you can just ping each other for whenever you guys need each other, and then that way each of these 5 spots will be filled. Now, if you have trouble using Discord or you can't do that for any reason, you can keep server hopping just like this. So you can go over here and just click change server up until you find a server where you have a bunch of people like here, and all that there is like 2 free spots which you can just switch between, and it will still be very fine for you. And then that way you can maximize your cake points. And then the next thing is, whatever it is that you're going for, make sure that you understand what you're getting. So for example, boost tokens, you can only really buy 1 boost token. Now, as you can see, stuff like milkshake costs 200, birthday candles 300, and sweet star 300. So you want to try and decide what exactly you want to try and get. If it's PvP items, you might want to over grind your points so that way you can get multiple. It could be gummies. So yeah, a big mistake here is that people actually don't really use their cake points sometimes for the correct stuff. So if you're a person that wants to get into PvP, getting a bunch of gummies ready right now would be the best choice, because if you buy as many gummies as you can possibly get and as many PvP items as you can get, you will not need to go and try and trade for these items once this event goes away. And then that saves you a lot of time and also saves you from losing a lot of value. So, and now here is mistake number 3. People are just recently abusing this new feature called the cake points, where you can, for example, if I go in the wild right now and encounter something, I will, for example, I'll find a worm in the wild. And what people are doing is they are making sure to AFK all night by using some kind of auto clicker or macro, right? And that also right here, as you can see, every kill I get gives me 2 points. So using that, people are now macroing and auto-clicking overnight for these cake points. And sure, yeah, I respect the grind. However, I do not recommend you do this on your main account, as doing this on your main account could be quite risky and it could potentially get you banned. I'm not sure fully on the details, but I'm pretty sure that it's not 100% secure. So what you want to try and avoid is, if you are macroing, don't download any viruses. And if you are macroing, you should probably not be doing it on your main account, because you're probably gonna either be trade banned or potentially risk losing your items and Loomians because of a full game ban that you could potentially receive by doing this. And you might want to go and check what the Loomian Legacy developers have said based on this before you even try, because I am not gonna lie, this could potentially get you banned. So just be careful. This is a risky option to get cakes, but it is very viable to get as many cakes as you want, as it does generate you a lot of cake points. But do it at your own risk. All right, for the fourth mistake, it is important to understand this for new people, especially that are in this game, because here is one thing. This is a big event. This is a Halloween event with a crossover of a different event, meaning there's so many roamers that could possibly spawn corrupt and a bunch of other rare stuff. Even if you don't have charms and even if you don't have boost tokens, you still have a pretty good chance at finding roamers in the wild, gleams in the wild, and potentially corrupts in the wild. As you can see here, the mistake is not having a Dusk kit. Now, my god, when I tell you the amount of people that I see who don't use a harmonized Dusk kit is actually shocking at this rate. Please, if you are a player who doesn't have a Dusk kit and is hunting in the wild right now, I recommend you need to get yourself a Dusk kit that has a pure personality, like pure nimble, pure brawny, pure clever, pure whatever, right? And put it in your first spot of your party. That way, what happens is, for all of the people who don't know, basically whatever I encounter in the wild, it will copy that specific personality right here, your nimble. Now, you might be like, hey, I don't care about PvP, so why should I care about what the hell my personality is? Well, it's not just for PvP. If you want to trade that Loomian in the future, you might want to have a pure personality Loomian, because not having a pure personality could potentially ruin the value of that Loomian completely. Alright, so for the final mistake, again, new players might not know this, but I'm currently at the highest level of mastery I could possibly be in the game. So as you can see, level 114 rewards are not yet in the game. But if you're a new player, or if you have been a player that has not cared about mastery ever since, you know, you started the game, your mastery level will probably be much lower than this. So what you might want to focus on is, alright, all of the Loomians in this area and that area. If I'm going to be hunting today, I need to focus on finishing the mastery first. Why? Because not doing the mastery prevents you from getting any gammas. So if you want yourself some nice looking gammas, and if you don't know what a gamma looks like, this is a gamma roamer and it looks amazing. So if you don't want that, I mean, I guess suit yourself. But if you do want something quite good and you want to try and get yourself a bunch of really cool looking stuff, you might as well do the mastery. It's worth doing, I promise. And if you don't care about hunting, that you still get some pretty good rewards from the mastery by doing it. So you can get yourself a bunch of boost tokens, you can get yourself a bunch of items, you can even get yourself a bunch of shards and gummies, which will help out in PvP a lot. All right, everybody, and that was it for all of the potential mistakes that you could do in the trick or treat event. If you found this video helpful for you, make sure to like and subscribe, because it helps support the channel, and ensure that you comment anything down below that you may feel like should have been explained better, or just any ideas that you have in general that I could have talked about, so then I could maybe do a part 2 for this. And other than that, really, I'll see you guys in the next Loomian Legacy video, or even stream, for every single weekend that we do. But yeah, guys, thank you all for joining, and I'll see you guys in the very next video /stream. Peace.